What's up, my dudes? Jesse Mails here with Backwater Fly Fishing. Today, super cool topic. We're talking about crab flies and how realistic is too realistic, and does it even matter if a crab fly is realistic, and why would we want to fish a realistic crab fly over an ordinary crab pattern? Let's go. Alright guys, so there's a lot of really cool realistic crab flies out there. I'm going to show you some of mine. We're going to look at some from other people here on Instagram, and some of them look really cool, and I'm sure they fish fine. There's other flies that aren't so realistic, that maybe have a hint to the shape or the color of a crab that fish very well. So we want to look at what's going on here, and do the fish really care? Now, from my experience, which is all I'm going to talk about, fish that tend to be super picky, okay, like a permit or sometimes a triggerfish, if they're not turned on and actively feeding heavily, sometimes if the fly doesn't look like the food, they're just not going to eat it. There's other times where those same fish species are running around cruising, eating everything, and you could throw a shrimp, you could throw a crab, you could throw something that just remotely looks like a crustacean, and they're going to eat it. That goes for all fish that eat crabs. Redfish can be the same way, black drum can be the same way. A lot of times they want to see that realistic shape, maybe because they're not actively feeding so heavy. And there's other times where it's a complete reverse too, where these fish are keyed in on a specific crab, or they're eating clams, or they're eating a specific shrimp, and that's all they want. So you have kind of two ends of the spectrum that you have to fish. Now there's awesome flies like the merkin, in my opinion, doesn't look, it's just kind of a generic crab fly. It looks like a crustacean, but it doesn't look like a specific crab most of the time. You have other very realistic crab patterns that do, and that mimic specific crabs on certain flats where the bones and the perms are eating them. A lot of crabs that are focusing on stone crabs or blue crabs. So there are the specifics there, and as a rule, I would say it doesn't matter. The realistic look of the fly doesn't matter when it comes to crab flies. Shape, silhouette, and color, and size, okay? And all those can be, you might just have one, it might just be the right size. The other thing, it might just be the right color, it might just be the right silhouette, it might be the right shape or whatever. So getting caught up on making a fly look super realistic isn't, for me, a big goal. What I'm thinking of is, how am I going to be able to present the fly to the fish? Is it going to get its attention? Is it the right color for the bottom that I'm going to be fishing? Is it going to make the silhouette that it needs? If it's not, am I contrasting the bottom, say on a mud flat or something? So those are the types of questions I like to ask. Now, there is a really cool realistic crab fly that I do tie that I like a lot, and I'll leave a link in the description of this video if you want to give it a shot. But there's other flies like quans that do a great job of imitating crabs, depending on how long of a tail you put on those. I like to fish a shorter tail on my quan flies, and that's a great fly that has that quan shaped head, which essentially mimics the body of the crab, with some legs and a little bit of material hanging off. You got to keep in mind too, a lot of times these fish, they're going to eat little bits of crabs, dead crabs, okay? So not always are they eating or seeing a full crab when they eat a crab. And these types of quan flies do a great job, slider flies do a great job of just imitating a piece of crab on the bottom there, or a shrimp, or these other types of crustaceans that catch their eye and they eat without hesitation. So those are my thoughts, kind of a little jumbled there maybe, on crab flies and whether or not they need to be super realistic or not. Let me know what you guys think. If you think I'm wrong, comments below, smash that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys later. Deuces.